This is how to get your first editing client with Outreach. I'm talking about the exact system that can land you high-paying clients in the next 30 days, even if you have zero experience and no portfolio. Because there's a hidden system that editors making $5,000 or more per month are using, and it's the complete opposite of what everyone else is doing. It's why editors with less talent are stealing high-paying clients while better editors can't even get a response. I use this exact system to land a 5 million subscriber channel that pays me over $5,000 every month, and I've taught it to students of mine like Asa who went from $800 to $5,000 per month in just 90 days. So today I'm giving you the entire outreach blueprint, every step, every email, every follow-up that turns complete strangers into high-paying clients. But before I break down the system, you need to understand the one thing that separates editors who land clients from those who don't with outreach. See, what doesn't work is spending hours crafting the perfect email, researching every detail about a creator's life, and trying to be clever with your subject lines. All this does is waste time, waste energy, and keeps you stuck while other editors are booking clients left and right. But what actually works will completely change how you think about outreach. And once you understand this principle, you'll never struggle to land a client again. So here's the truth. Volume beats perfection every single time. Most people underestimate volume and overcomplicate the first message. The editors making $5,000 or more per month, though, aren't sending perfect emails. They're just sending more emails. While you're spending 2 hours perfecting one message, they've already sent 20. The truth is, outreach is a numbers game. Inputs lead to outputs. Just like the gym, if you do the reps, you will see results. Now, to be clear, this isn't about sending spam. This is about taking massive action fast with a system that produces quality results as quickly as possible. Because here's the thing, just because outreach is about volume doesn't mean we could ignore the quality of the messages that we're sending. You could send a million messages, but if they all say, "Please hire me, I'm desperate for work," you're probably still not gonna get hired. So you need both volume and a system that makes each message effective. And that's where my cold to sold outreach system comes in. This is a 6-step blueprint that's landed me the Ireland boys who now pay me over $5,000 per month, as well as helped many of my students land their first editing client. And the reason this works so well is that each step builds on the last to create something really powerful. So by the time you get to the final step, you're not begging for work or trying to convince anyone to hire you. They're already convinced. So with that said, let me walk you through each step of this blueprint so you can start implementing it today. Step 1. Build a list of 100 qualified leads. The foundation for everything starts with building your list of 100 qualified leads in your niche. But here's what most people get wrong. They think any creator fits, but I'm not talking about any random creators. I'm talking about 100 qualified leads that fit 3 specific criteria. I call it the big 3. And honestly, 100 leads is probably overkill for landing your first client, but it gives you plenty of options to work with. So here's what makes a lead qualified. Criteria number 1, they need to create content in your chosen niche regularly. Criteria number 2, they have to have the budget to pay you. And criteria number 3, they need to be monetizing their audience somehow, either through products, merch, or some sort of service. Now, you can build this list manually by searching YouTube channels in your target niche, or you can outsource it. You can go to Fiverr or Upwork, hire somebody for like 30 to 40 bucks and have them build a list for you. Give them your criteria and have them build a spreadsheet with relevant information like channel name, channel size, channel niche, email, Instagram or Twitter link, last video upload date, and then a space for notes about what you find during your research. Now, I know this might seem overwhelming at first, especially if you're doing this alone. And honestly, that's one of the biggest reasons most editors give up. They try to figure out everything by themselves instead of learning from others who've already done it, which is why I created a completely free community of over 2,400 editors who are actively landing clients and scaling their businesses. Inside, you get access to an entire course that breaks down this system even further, plus additional modules on editing techniques, personal branding, and how to land monthly retainers that give you consistent income. If that sounds helpful, click the link in the description to join now. But having a list of 100 leads means nothing if you don't know what you're looking for when you research them. And step number 2 is where most editors either waste hours of their time or miss the golden opportunities sitting right in front of their face. Because there's a specific type of problem you need to find in their content. And if you find the wrong type of problem, your entire outreach will fail before you even send the first message. So step number 2 is the 10-minute research method. method. Now, here's where the magic happens, and this is what separates this system from everything else you've probably heard. Most editors either skip research completely or they spend way too much time on it. But since we've got 100 leads to get to, for each lead on your list, you're only going to spend 10 minutes doing research. No more, no less. This keeps you moving fast while still gathering the information you need to provide real value. Here's the exact process. Watch one of their most recent videos at 1.5 to 2 times speed. You're looking for 1 or 2 time-stamped issues you can fix with editing alone. When you find an issue, log it in your spreadsheet. Channel name, video link, exact timestamp, issue type, and a 1-line explanation of why it matters. Your goal is to process 50 to 100 timestamps per day using these 1 of 10 predefined patterns: weak hook, dead space, repetitive visuals, weak storytelling, poor audio and music, lack of emotion, boring visuals, no curiosity, pacing issues, and early sponsor placement. And here's the key. You're not trying to analyze their entire channel or become an expert on their content. You're just finding 1 or 2 specific things you can improve, time-stamping them, and moving on to the next lead. This systematic approach lets you move fast while still providing value in every single message you send. But finding the problem is only half the battle, because what you say about the problem determines whether you get completely ignored or land a client who pays you $1,000 or more per video. Which brings us to step number 3, the email that gets responses. Now it's time to craft your outreach message, and here's where most editors completely blow it. They make it all about themselves instead of the creator's problems. But when you flip this and make it all about them, that's when everything changes. Creators who normally ignore every message will actually reply to yours. So the secret is making your email both personalized and valuable. And here's the exact template that works. Hi name, just watched video title, around timestamp, identify the specific problem. Example, the pacing dips right before the payoff. Then attach a screenshot of that video. Then explain why it matters. For example, moments like that usually spike retention dips and drag average view duration. Then go on to say, I'm an editor and I wanted to see if you'd like a 60-second re-edit of that exact section and a walkthrough of what I changed, keeping your same style but optimized for better retention and views. If helpful, I'll send the 60-second re-edit plus a 90-second walkthrough of what I did. And if you like it, we could test out an edit on your next full video. Open to that, your name, and portfolio link. Now, notice what this email does. It proves you actually watched their content, identifies a specific problem, explains the impact, and offers a concrete solution. The key is being specific about the timestamp and the issue. This proves you're not sending a generic template. You actually invested time in understanding their content and finding ways to improve it. But just sending one perfect email isn't enough, because even the best email in the world is useless if it never gets seen. And most creators are drowning in their inboxes, which means your perfect message might get buried forever. So to get your email seen, step number 4 is follow up. And this is where most editors fail completely. They just send one email and give up when they don't get a response. But if you don't follow up, you are literally leaving thousands of dollars on the table. So I'm about to show you exactly how to do it properly without being annoying. Most of the time, silence doesn't mean no. It just means not seen. People are busy, emails get buried, and your message might have been perfect, but just got lost. So you're going to follow up 5 to 7 times across multiple platforms, with each follow-up being short and referencing your previous message. And remember, volume wins. The key is persistence without being annoying. You're providing value, not begging for work. When they see you putting in that effort with urgency, but not desperation, it sends a powerful signal that you're serious. And following up alone will put you ahead of 90% of other editors who are competing for the same clients. Now, when someone finally says yes, step number 5 is where you either win them over completely or lose them forever. Because if you get lazy at this one step, you'll blow your shot at proving you're worth hiring. But execute this properly and they'll be begging to pay you whatever you ask while you become the editor they can't afford to lose. So step number 5 is to deliver the re-edit that proves your value. When someone replies with interest, this is where you produce a 30 to 60 second re-edit of that exact timestamp plus a 90-second Loom video explaining the fix. And here's how to structure your re-edit. Number 1, show the original problematic section. And number 2, show your improved version side by side. Now for your video walkthrough, you should explain number 1, what the original issue was and why it hurt their video. Number 2, exactly what you changed and how you changed it. Number 3, why those changes improve retention and engagement. And number 4, how this same principle principle applies to their other content. This combination of showing and explaining builds massive credibility. Not only do they see your technical skills, but they also understand your strategic thinking process. The goal is to blow them away with the quality of your work and your understanding of what makes content actually perform. When they see the difference between their original and your version, the decision to hire you becomes obvious. Now here's the key. Speed to contact matters, so be quick and send your re-edit with this exact message. Hey name, here's the 60-second re-edit and breakdown I mentioned. Also, do you have time for a 10-minute call today, tomorrow, or the day after? The goal is to provide massive value and then book a meeting to discuss working together, which then brings us to the final step, and this is where everything you've built up to this point either pays off in a big way or falls apart if you don't handle it right. But here's the beautiful thing. If you followed steps 1 through 5 correctly, this conversation should come easy. They should already be sold. You just need to close the deal. So step number 6 is convert to paid work. Now, if they take you up on the call, you're going to discuss working together on a per video basis using this conversion framework. Based on what I've seen, I think I could really help improve your content's performance. I typically work with creators like you on a per video basis to start. For videos like the one I re-edited, my rate is X dollars per video. Then add this crucial element, and I include an input guarantee. If I miss our agreed deadline, I'll refund you completely. The input guarantee removes all risk from their side and massively boosts your conversion rate. Then just agree on a per video price based on the complexity and length of their content. This can be done over email or over a meeting, but I recommend the call because it builds a more personal connection and trust. The beautiful thing about this system though is that by the time you get to the pricing conversation, they've already seen proof of what you can do. You're not asking them to take a leap of faith, you're just asking them to pay for more of what they've already experienced. And this is completely different from how most editors approach things. Most editors try to sell their services without ever proving their value, but you've already shown them exactly what it's like working with you. And because we're getting clients through this 6-step blueprint, it works predictably. You put in the inputs, you get the outputs. It's not about luck or being the most talented editor. It's about following a proven process consistently. Now, even with the most proven process, most people give up after 10 or 20 rejections. But if you understand the math, you know that rejection is just a part of the process. Every no gets you closer to the yes. Once you push through and land that first client paying you $500 to $1,000 per video, everything changes. You can focus on delivering amazing work and moving them to a monthly retainer for consistent income. But none of this happens without action. The key is consistency and volume. Build your list of 100 leads, do your quick research, send your emails, follow up relentlessly, and deliver amazing work when you get the chance. If you follow this blueprint exactly as I've laid it out, you will get your first editing client. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And once you're making $1,000 to $3,000 per month as an editor, you're gonna wanna know how to scale beyond that ceiling. Because once you hit that income level, you'll get stuck. You'll be working harder than ever, but your income won't be growing, which is why you need to understand the 8 specific problems that keep editors trapped at that level and the 8 solutions that can break you through to $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000 or more per month. And unless you've been told these by someone who's already broken through, it can take years to learn these things on your own. But that's exactly why I made this video breaking down all 8 problems and solutions. So if you want to know exactly what's keeping you stuck and how to break through to that next level, click here to watch that video now.